Yes, people, hope you're well. I'm going to dissect a little bit more of the Carabao Cup final. Going to speak about the Salah agenda and him turning up or lack of him turning up in finals, according to some fans. Going to speak about the Chiesa situation and Chiesa conundrum, however you want to word it, and also looking at the rest of the season. Look, it is the morning meetup show. Sit back, relax. Let's get into it.
Shout out to Kopish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Keep all the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that, guys. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kopish.
Morning, people. Hope you're well. Welcome back to the show. As always, when we get behind the mic, please make sure you subscribe, comment, and like. First and foremost, shout out to Matt, shout out to Drift for holding down the watch along and the post-match reaction yesterday. As many of you would have known, I was at Wembley getting some fan cams and doing a bit of a vlog, etc. So that stuff will be either coming out later on today or first thing tomorrow morning. So make sure you look out for that. I'm livid, guys. I'm not even going to lie to you. I can sit here and laugh and joke and I'll try and hide it. I'm livid. You guys know me. You guys hear me say every season I want the quad, and I don't just say that for clicks and because I want to sound quirky or funny. I genuinely want to win every single trophy that we're in. Now, I know it's virtually impossible. I know it's very difficult. But I do want to win every trophy. I want Liverpool to be the most dominant team in England, in the world. And we got to a final yesterday, a final that I believe we were very capable of winning. I did say I thought it'd be 2-1 either way, but I did obviously sway towards Liverpool, being a Liverpool fan, and thinking we'd slightly have enough, especially with Gordon and Lewis Hall being out. That being said, what I do want to say first and foremost, congratulations to Newcastle United. No ill will, no hard feelings. They fully deserved to win yesterday. And when I say fully deserved to win. I think they out-battled Liverpool. Eddie Howe outsmarted Slot with his tactics. And they were just a better team all around. Did we have a couple of moments? Yeah, could have done a better with the chance at the end of the first half where Salah Trivelas it to Diaz. Diaz heads it down for Jota. That could have been a better chance. Second half, the ball comes to Núñez. Better first touch. Maybe he gets a shot off and scores a goal. Maybe there's an argument for a Trippier handball in the first half. But I'm not going to sit here and say it's the ref's fault. I'm not going to sit here and say that we were hard done by. We were unlucky. We weren't. We were beaten by the better team. And for minute one, Newcastle were on it until Chiesa scored the goal. And then even after Chiesa scored the goal, they still controlled the game because they were just running the clock down. So I can't sit here and be salty about it. Am I upset about it? Yeah. Can't be salty about it. We deserved what we got and Newcastle deserved what they got. We dust ourselves down and we do what we need to do. Now, the wider conversation becomes, why did this happen? Now, there are warning signs from the first PSG game, the Southampton game, the second PSG game, and then this. The first thing I need to speak about is I don't want to hear excuses about us, going to penalties against PSG because the tie was in our hands after the first leg. And Newcastle played a day earlier than us and had more injuries. So again, even that doesn't wash with me. We have a deeper squad than Newcastle as well. We don't utilize the depth of our squad, then we only have ourselves to blame. Now, the Jota and Núñez thing, everyone knows my thoughts on Jota. Everyone knows my thoughts on Núñez. I think Jota on form is the best finisher at the club. I think Jota off form is still, or was, a very good striker who could bring others into play, set up other people and score goals as well. This version of Jota is not it. We haven't seen a good version of Jota this season after the injury. Dare I say it, we didn't see the best version of Jota before the injury. And this is not me having a crash out on Jota. I'm just saying it how it is. If we as fans are going to be completely honest with ourselves, before Jota got injured, Jota may have had some goals, but he was missing way more than he was scoring. And that's the first time I can say that in Jota's Liverpool career. So there are a few red flags there. He comes back from injuries and Slot comes out and says, look, I wish I could play Jota 90 minutes every game. I actually don't think he was that bad in the Aston Villa game. Had a terrible miss, but he also put one on the plate for Salah as well and was just a threat in the first half especially. Since that game, he's fallen off a cliff and he's been terrible. And this is where I have compassion and this is where I have sympathy for Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez came off the bench against PSG, ruffled the feathers of their defenders who were comfortable up until he came on and got an assist for the winning goal. He then starts the Southampton game. Again, can't sit here and tell you a lie. I didn't watch the game because I was at a kids' party with the boys and my little daughter. But everyone I've spoken to who I trust their opinions, Núñez was trashed the first half. But guess what? In the second half, he gets the goal that levels up the game and then wins the penalty for us to go 2-1 up. And then we finish the game 3-1 winners. If I'm Darwin Núñez and I get an assist in one game, the following game I get a goal and win a penalty to get, which is effectively an assist, and then I don't see my name starting ahead of the person who hasn't scored or assisted since the Aston Villa game, if I'm not mistaken, and has played terribly since then, with all due respect, how do you expect me to run through a brick wall for you? It's similar to what Klopp was doing with Divock Origi. How do you expect me to run through a brick wall for you? How do you expect me to go out there and have the enthusiasm, have the endeavor? And before anyone goes, oh, well, he's paid to do it. He's a human being. I know he gets paid for it. I know it's his job. But I ask you guys, how would you feel if you put in better performances than the person who's starting ahead of you in a cup final? At least give him a chance. If he's given a chance and he stinks out the gaff, then yeah, by all means, Slot can turn around and say, well, bro, I gave you a chance and you let me down. You let the team down. You let the fans down. By all means, do that. But give him a flipping chance, man. You're telling me he could be any worse than the version of Jota we saw yesterday? Do me a favor, man. It's poor. It's poor. Like, it's so poor. And it's so frustrating as well. And again, I know people sit there and say, Cal, you got a Núñez agenda. Respectfully to anyone, if I'm going to be honest, and this, I don't usually blow my own trumpet and all this, I'm very consistent as a fan. I tell it how it is. From day one of me starting Kopish to now, my priority has always been Liverpool Football Club. Never been Player FC. If a player, in my opinion, is best for Liverpool to win a game, then that's the player who should be in the team. I do not care about names. I do not care about personal accolades. I do not care about any of that other crap. I want the best available players or the best players in form to play for Liverpool Football Club to give us the best chance of winning. Why? Because I support Liverpool. I couldn't give a damn about personal accolades. I couldn't give a damn about individual honors and all this. That's a byproduct. I care about what's in that trophy cabinet at the end of the season. And respectfully, if you are Player FC over Liverpool FC, then I don't know what you're doing here. So yeah, you guys can call me all the names under the sun and all that. That's cool. But one thing you can't be accused of, I will not have anyone accuse me of, is being Player FC or being overly biased towards one player or another player. I've always wanted what's best for Liverpool. Klopp's my favorite manager of all time. I used to call him out all the time when he was doing stuff that weren't right. All the time. So let me get back to the situation now. Núñez doesn't start and we look toothless in attack. Elliott is another player who's been mistreated, in my opinion, this season. And look, I'm not even saying Elliott should have started yesterday. I'm not saying that at all. He would have got bullied in that game. But over the course of the season, Elliott could have played more games to take some of the onus away from a Szoboszlai, for example, who looked knackered yesterday. And dare I say, in the 10, Szoboszlai did nothing. In the pivot, Szoboszlai actually played quite well. And that's a damning indictment on McAllister and Gravenberch, who I'll speak about as well. Elliott loves this team, bleeds for this team, and gives everything for this team. He could have been used more this season. Speaking about the pivot, Mac and Grav, bloody hell, what is going on there? Kept on saying it. We need a destructive midfielder. We need someone in the midfield to destroy. We still haven't got one. And yesterday was a game where we were screaming out for one. Never have I seen McAllister and Gravenberch get bullied the way they got bullied yesterday in that pivot. It was hard to watch. Hard to watch. Have they been overplayed? Yes. Is that on the manager? Yes. Endo could have been utilised more throughout the season, giving Grav more of a rest. I think Jones and McAllister have actually been rotated quite well, if I'm going to be honest. I actually think those two have been quite well rotated, if I'm going to be completely honest. Gravenberch hasn't been rotated well at all. At all. And it's extremely frustrating because we're getting performances like the last season Gravenberch now. I don't think Gravenberch is a purple patch player. I think he is literally fallen off a cliff physically. But I don't know how he sustains anything from now to the end of the season because he's going on this international break, but he'll be playing there probably. And then when he comes back, we've still got a league to win. So even that is a problem. Then I look at the left wing situation. And I look at Diaz, who started yesterday and virtually offered nothing, was pocketed by Kieran Trippier. And I keep on saying this about Diaz. He plays with a Neymar arrogance, but doesn't produce when he's needed to. And this is not me saying Diaz is crap, because I know people so often will hear what I say and say, oh, black and white. If you say Nunes or Diaz don't produce, then they're both crap in Cal's eyes. No, not even that. But he underwhelms me. The whole, jinky and you know, no look passes and like trying to do skills and flicks and all that. I don't care. I don't care. I keep on hearing this whole system player and non-system player and maverick and players with freedom. Surely, if you're a top-class player, you can play in virtually any system within reason. I'm seeing a player who's, 27, 28, who should be at the peak of their powers, doing nothing on a regular basis. If anyone's a purple patch player, it's Luis Diaz. He goes for games and games and games without any goals and assists. And then what I hear is, but the game's not just about GA. I'm sorry, but the game is a big part of football is GA, especially if you're an attacker. When did it become unfashionable for attackers to get goals and assists? When did it become fashionable to criticize attackers for getting a lot of goals and assists? When did it become fashionable for us to go, he's a GA merchant? Call me a GA merchant. I'd love to be a GA merchant. You know what GA merchant means? You're contributing to your team on a regular basis. GA merchant, yeah, call me that. You're calling our players GA merchants, fantastic. That means we're winning. That means our players are winning. I don't get what's going on with football at the moment. And when we compare him to Mane, the first thing we hear is, he's not Mane. You're right, he's not Mane. But this is the levels we expect, nah? This is surely we've seen the levels of Mane and Bobby when he was at his peak. Salah's still doing his thing. We remember when Flacco was playing in the DM. Remember Henderson at his peak. Remember Genie Wijnaldum at his peak. Remember Robbo at his peak. Remember when Trent was doing mad amount of assists. These are the levels we want. You do realize we're Liverpool Football Club, right? So when I'm saying, yeah, I want someone who I look at and go, he strikes fear into defenders, like Mane used to. How am I hearing, but you know, it is what it is. We got Diaz, we got this. No, I don't care. I don't care. And shall I tell you why I don't care? It's because when one person doesn't turn up out of the attack, who always turns up usually, he's the one that gets criticized more than the other players who rarely turn up. So I'll get back to left wing now, because Diaz got substituted off and on comes Cody Gakpo, who has had a good season, by the way, but he's not fit. And if Cody Gakpo is not fit, he's not a player that's just going to start coming on and doing a madness, even if he's not fit. Sturridge used to be someone like that, who, even if he's not fit, even if he's 90, 80% fit, he can come on and still do something. Gakpo's not that person. Gakpo's a momentum player, and he needs to be 100% fit for you to get anything out of him. So then you've got another player. This is a nice little segue, because I need to speak about this player. You've got another player on the bench called Federico Chiesa. You know, that international Italian superstar. You know, the guy who lit up the Euros recently. You know, the guy who was one of Juventus's best attackers for the last few years. We've got him on the bench, sitting there. And I said to Matt and Drift, I doubt we'll see him again for the rest of the season. And we almost didn't. But guess who came off the bench yesterday? Received the ball, a beautiful pass from Harvey Elliott, by the way. Received the ball, one touch to get out of his feet, and sticks it away with his weaker foot. That's right, the number 14, who's barely flipping been played this season. Barely flipping been played. And no disrespect to Gakpo, no disrespect to Diaz. Them two aren't even, one, going to be in a position to receive that pass, and two, they are not scoring that type of goal. They are not. There is a reason why at the beginning of the season, I said if Chiesa gets any sort of form, he could be our starting left winger. That was no damnation on Diaz or none on Gakpo. Both players who I think are very good, especially Gakpo. But you know why I say that? Because Chiesa at his best is still better than those two. And that is just how I feel about it. Chiesa at his best is better than those two. Now, the question then becomes, how often are you going to get Chiesa at your best, or at his best? I don't know. But you know, one thing I will say, we can't get the best out of Chiesa when he plays one game in every 6 or 7. No, scrap that. When he plays 20 minutes every 6 or 7 games. Talk about mismanagement of a footballer. I don't know. This is about as bad as it gets. Not just that. Not just that. How is it that we've bought this player and nothing's been done about it then? Because to me, this seems like this was a Richard Hughes signing, and Slot's gone, I didn't want this player, so I'm gonna dig my heels in here and I'm not gonna play it. Really and truly, who is that hurting? Is that hurting Richard Hughes, or is that hurting Liverpool Football Club? Because for me, that's hurting Liverpool Football Club. And I'll tell you why. Because Chiesa could have been rotated more with Salah, which means Salah would have been a bit more fresh going into March and April. And he could have also been rotating on the left wing, which would have meant he would be match fit, possibly in form, and give us another weapon off the bench or starting. And guess what else? He can play through the middle as well. So who looks silly now? Does it look like it's Richard Hughes or Arne Slot who looks silly? It looks like Arne Slot. Because Richard Hughes has gone out and got him a player it seems that he didn't want. But guess what? He's at the club now. He's at the club. So the least you could do is play him. Endo at the beginning of the season was given barely anything. Played his way into the manager's thoughts, becomes the ultimate closer. You know, when you see him put the gum shield on at the sideline and run onto the pitch, game's done. Done. Finito. The ultimate closer. Why did it take him so long to factor into the plans of Arne Slot? Why did it take him so long to be a rotational player with Gravenberch sometimes? Joe Gomez was another one. Barely played before he got injured. I get Slot's new here, and I get he has players that he trusts and doesn't necessarily trust as much. But if you've got a squad, utilize it. There's been so many games this season where we've been few goals up. There's been so many games this season where we could have rotated a bit more, and he hasn't done it. And I'm going to keep the same energy. If this was Klopp, I'd be saying the same thing. But what I will say, for anyone who's sitting there going, slot out this, slot out that, give your head a wobble, man. Give your head a wobble. We're on the brink of winning the Premier League. We're on the brink of winning the Premier League. I can be angry about Slot's previous few games of mismanagement. I say 4 games, the 2 PSG games, Southampton and the game yesterday. I'm upset about those games. I'm upset with Slot about those games. But wanting Slot out, come on, man, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Be upset with Slot. By all means, you can be upset with him. But saying you want Slot out, do me a favor, man. Do me a favor. He's about to deliver a league title. So I don't know what else to say on that. For me, between now and the end of the season, I want Chiesa to get some opportunities to see whether he can or can't kite this team. Also, I wonder if it's a case of Pep Guardiola used to do this sometimes. He wouldn't play players a lot in their first season at the club to try and get them used to things. And then the second season, they'd get way more minutes. Now, if this is Slot doing something similar with Chiesa, then obviously he's taking it right to the extreme. But only time will tell. Only time will tell. But I think Slot needs to change his philosophies and ideology around squad and squad size. This is the Premier League. This ain't the Eredivisie. You can get away with 14, 15 players in that league. It's not as intense and you're not expected to win any European honours. You're maybe expected to compete for the league and win maybe a domestic cup. At Liverpool, you're expected to compete for everything, which means you need a 25-man squad. 20 of those players, in my opinion, 20 of those players should be senior players. And then maybe 5 academy players or players who've just come through the academy. But this 14 to 16 player business throughout a season ain't going to run in the Premier League. Not if you compete for other trophies. I've only seen one team do it in recent years, and that was Man City. And they were just a very robust group of players, and everything clicked at the same time. But you see what's happened since then. So things need to really change with Slot there. Now, let's move on to Salah. As soon as the final whistle went yesterday, I was sitting there in Wembley and I was furious. Then the camera started panning to Salah, etc. And you think, know what's coming now. I didn't play well in the PSG games. Didn't play well yesterday. The agenda's going to start. And this is why I want to speak on this. Salah yesterday, in my opinion, wasn't poor. He barely got the ball and was able to do anything with it because of the tactics of us and the tactics of Newcastle. The one time he did get the ball in a bit of space, he actually set up Diaz, which set up Jota. Apart from that, did nothing. But he barely got the ball and barely was able to do anything. So then the question and the argument becomes, oh, well, if he's a great player, he should be able to do something. He should be able to do something. The last time I checked, there's 10 other men on the pitch, 9 other outfield players. Why can't they do something for once? Why must it always be Salah? Messi's the best player we've seen in my generation, right? I don't think anyone can disagree with that. Best attacking player we've seen in our generation. You think it was always left for Messi to do something? Because over the years, I saw Pedro do stuff. I saw Eto'o. I saw Henry do stuff. I saw David Villa do stuff. Neymar, Suarez. I never once heard anyone say, it's always got to be Messi. Messi was cream of the crop. Messi was the best of the best. But you guess what? If Messi didn't turn up in a game, I bet you Suarez did. If Messi and Suarez didn't turn up a game, I bet you any money Neymar did. You know them games where Salah didn't turn up? Guess who did turn up? Sadio Mane. You know them games where Mane didn't turn up? Guess who turned up? Mo Salah. Guess who turned up when both of them didn't turn up? Firmino. And guess what happened when all 3 of them turned up? Defense has got absolutely ripped to shreds. But let me ask you guys a question. If Salah came off that pitch yesterday at 45 minutes, how confident would you be that we'd score a goal or create anything? On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably go 2 or 3. We are too reliant on this player. We're too reliant on a player who's getting into their mid-30s and also might not even be at the club next season. Other players need to step up. Other players need to show that they have some cojones. They've got a set of balls in between their legs and do something on the pitch. It cannot always be left for Salah to do something. And it has been like this for years now. The moment Firmino and Mane left, it has been like this for years. Gakpo's had some moments this season. In fact, no, that's disservice to Gakpo. Gakpo's been the only one this season who said, you know what, I got you, Mo. I got you, man. Diaz, couple games here and there. Nunez, couple moments here and there. Jota, couple moments here and there. Chiesa, not even played. So you're telling me Salah's got to do it all by himself. The guy's got the most goals and most assists in the Premier League. And I'm hearing he can't turn up. So let me break this down for you guys. Most people's consensus GOAT in the Premier League is Thierry Henry. Guess how many match finals Thierry Henry scored in? 0. Scored in none. I don't hear anyone saying, yeah, boy, cup finals, he can't be the Premier League GOAT. You can't be the Premier League GOAT if you don't score in cup finals. No, that's excuse for Thierry Henry. But when it comes to Salah don't turn up in finals, you know, he's crap. Can't put him in conversation with Prem GOAT. So what's the difference? What's the difference? Shearer. How many cup finals did Shearer win? Before you say anything and be like, oh, but Newcastle were dead when Shearer was there. Okay. Great players are meant to just drag their team over the line, though, no? Or does the narrative only work for Salah? And then it becomes, oh, Harry Kane. What about Harry Kane? Harry Kane gets bare goals and assists. Okay, what did Harry Kane win at Spurs? It's Tottenham, man. Yeah, great players are meant to drag their team over the line, no? Why is it there's a disparity between those players and Salah? And I'm not even sitting there saying Salah was good yesterday. He wasn't good yesterday. Average performance at best. Average at best. But this notion that if Salah don't turn up, it's all his fault is ridiculous. And you know what annoys me even more? Bare you fans do it. And I'm speaking to you now. Bare you Liverpool fans do it. Bare you Liverpool fans look for an excuse to tear down Salah. Bare you look to do it. Why? Why do you look for an excuse to tear down one of our best players in history? A player who breaks records on a consistent basis. You want to speak about big games? Look at his record against the big six. Look at his Premier League record throughout the years. Look at what he does in the Champions League. You want to talk about big games? Look at that. But no, let's just isolate the finals. And even if we're going to isolate finals, let's go through it. 17-18, he was cooking Real Madrid until he got taken out of the game. Cooking them. 18-19, he gets the opening goal from a penalty. No one plays great in that game, including him. Then you look at Carabao Cup. Didn't play last season's one. The one before that he did play was decent. Okay. The Real Madrid game where we lost in the final, when Courtois had the game of his life, Salah had an excellent game that day, as did Mane. But guess what? Courtois just turned into Superman. Just like we see Alisson do on a regular basis. Superman, it's just one of them days. But yeah, we want to just tear this guy down. We want to hear rival fans speak about Salah and not come to his defense. Cool. What I want to know is, why is there an unrealistic expectation on Salah but the rest of the attackers get babied? Why is there an unrealistic expectation on Salah to get goals and assists, but if the others do it, it's a bonus? Why is it that we sit there and we go, Salah has to do that, Salah has to do that, but we go, but Nunes hasn't got any confidence, and Jota is not fully fit, and Diaz works hard and occupies left backs and right backs, and Gakpo does his bits sometimes. Why is there an unrealistic expectation on the player who does the most? I saw Salah sitting there after the PSG game, crying his eyes out. Bear in mind, this is a guy who at the end of last season came out publicly online and said, I'm going to fight for trophies for you guys. I'm going to make sure we as a team fight for trophies for you guys. And guess what we've done this season? Fought for the Carabao. Lost in the final, granted. Premier League, about to seal that, hopefully. Who's been a main component in the Premier League? Mo Salah. Do me a favor, man. He's being failed by his other attackers at the moment. And I hate to use that word, but he's being failed by his teammates in attack at the moment. He really is. And it's frustrating. It's annoying. But I don't know when it changes. Because it's not going to change from now to the end of the season, in my humble opinion. It probably won't change until next season. But that's who's to say we're even going to get these players in the summer? Who's to say we're going to do much in the summer? We don't actually know as well. But either way, hold on. Got you, Cass. I got you, bro. Either way, something needs to be done, and something needs to be done urgently to take some of the onus off Salah. He can't be doing it all by himself. And if you as a Liverpool fan hold Salah responsible for yesterday's result from an attacking standpoint, then you need to look in the mirror and ask yourself, why aren't you doing the same with the others? Because respectfully, it's just not good enough. And now onto the final thing I'm going to speak about before I go. The rest of the season. I'm hearing fans going, oh, this season's done now. There's nothing else to play for. And it's going to fizzle out. Am I annoyed at being out the FA Cup? Yes. But then I got told by you guys, I don't care about the FA Cup. I only want the league. So I got slated for saying I was annoyed about being out of the FA Cup. Are we out of the Champions League? Yes. Annoyed about that. I think universally we're all annoyed about that. Going out in the final of the Carabao Cup, I got told at the beginning of the season, I don't give a damn about the Carabao Cup. So again, for you people who say that, you can't really be upset about the final, respectfully. But this notion we have nothing to play for. This notion we have nothing to play for. Do you know what? I'm not going to stop talking about the quad nonsense. If you're too weak in mentality to want to win all the trophies for Liverpool, that's not my problem. If your mentality is too weak to fathom that Liverpool can win multiple trophies in a season, that's a you problem, not a me problem. I will speak about quads. No one can muzzle me. No one can stop me speaking about the quad. If you are too weak in your mentality to think that Liverpool should be competing every single season for trophies and trophies and trophies and trophies and trying to win trophies and trophies and trophies and trophies, that's a you problem, not a me problem. You know how you get greatness? You know how you get greatness, Omar? By daring to do great things. If I sit in my bedroom all day and do F all, I can't expect to take on the world and do great things. But you know, if I go out there and I try things and I try this and I try that and I take risks, I give myself a chance of doing it. So this notion of don't speak about the quad, don't speak about the treble, don't speak about the double, miss me out with the BS. Because if you think Salah, Virgil, Alisson, Trent, and all them players all only going to a season thinking about, oh, no, man, I just want to win one trophy, then you're sadly mistaken. Salah wants to win everything. Virgil wants to win everything. Trent wants to win everything. Alisson wants to win everything. Those are the mentality monsters we have in our team. So if you've got a problem with those, then take it up with them. If you've got a problem with wanting us to win stuff, take it up with yourself. A lot of you fans, and I don't care if you unsubscribe, if you cuss me out or do whatever in the comments. A lot of you fans need to look at yourselves in the mirror and say, do I support a big team or do I just support a team that wants to be big? Because last time I checked, we're one of the biggest teams in the world. Grow some balls, some of you, man. Some of you grow some balls. Sitting there saying, oh, we can't do this and can't do that. And then you wonder why FSG sit there and go, oh, we'll just do the bare minimum. We accept it. Some of you lot in this fan base are pathetic. Won't put your balls on the table. Won't double down and say you want your team to do bits. Miss me out with the crap, man. This is Liverpool Football Club. You know what Shankly used to say? Second place means nothing. You know what Shankly used to say? We want to win everything. That's what this team was built on. You know what Paisley was doing? Winning bare stuff. You know what Fagan was doing? Winning bare stuff. What was Kenny doing as a manager? Winning bare stuff. And you want to sit there and go, oh, I don't want to hear about the quad or treble talk. Miss me out with the BS and go and look at yourself in the mirror and say, do I support a big team or do I want to support a big team? Don't speak to me. I'm a fan, innit? Go take up with yourself and go take up with the club. And if that's the case, and all you want is one trophy, if we win multiple trophies, I don't want to hear you celebrate them. I don't want to hear you celebrate. Miss me out with it. If we don't win anything, it's calm. We just compete, yeah? Journey's cool. Destination, who gives a damn? I do. And if you don't care about Liverpool like that, then respectfully, we don't need to speak. We don't need to speak. You do your thing, I'll do mine. It's a big world out there. We don't need to speak. So don't sit there and try and crash out on me when I'm just a fan. Crash out on yourself, bro. Because when it comes to this Liverpool thing, I'll go back and forth with anyone. I trust my knowledge and I trust my mentality. So if you want to do this, we'll do this. But don't try and crash it on me. Because I want the best for this club. If you don't want the same, then move on. Move on. As I was saying, I'm hearing fans saying, yeah, nah. We ain't got nothing to play for. Last time I checked, there's still points put on the board, nah? I tell you what's left to play for this season. Getting as high a points tally as possible. And also players on this team, players in this squad who need to go out there and prove that they still have a future at this club. How many games we got left of this season? We have got, let me double check. We've got 9 games left of the season, 27 points to play for, currently sitting on 70 points. If we get maximum points, we finish on 97 points. Our second highest points tally of all time. I'm not saying we're going to get 9 wins, by the way, guys. I'm not saying that. I mean, technically, we should actually be going out and getting 9 wins now because we've got nothing else to distract us. Slot can play his best 11 every week if everyone's free and available. So we should, in my opinion, be getting or going for maximum points. But I'll be realistic. It's going to be hard to get nine victories in a row from now to the end of the season. But you better be breaking that 90-point barrier. I need to be seeing at least 20 points from the next 27 available. At least. That's what we've got to play for. Putting points on the board. Getting a tally up. So you know in years in the future when people go, you see 24, 25, that was a weak season when Liverpool won it. We go, oh, no, hold on. We got 93 points that season. Go back and check and see how many other teams have got 93 points or more in the Premier League era. And then you know what people do after that? They go, fair enough. Sorry, my bad. I want to shut people up. I want people to have arguments and me go, fact, shut up. If there's 27 points available to play for, I want at least 20. I want 27, but I'll go 20. That's no excuse now. You're playing one game a week pretty much now to the end of the season. No excuses now. Get it done. So when we go to that parade, we're not limping over the line. We're sprinting over the line. I want us to end the season so well that players in the summer go, I want to play for that team. Look what they've done at the end of the season. Just kept it going. I want to play for that team. I don't want to just limp over the line. I don't want to just scrape the league. No. I want to smash teams out of the water. I want to smash the league. I want to get 90 plus points. Look, Ethan, big up Ethan. City got 91 points last season. I want 93 then. How about that? I want 93. I'll take 90, but I want 93 minimum. I want us to win this season and win this league where people go, yeah, can't really argue with that. Even if our team turned up, we might not have got 90 points. We might not have got 92. So we'll see. And for the players in that squad, I've only got about 7 or 8 players who are safe. Not saying I'm selling everyone, by the way. I'm just saying 7 or 8 players who are safe. The rest, they still need to prove themselves, in my opinion. Some more than others. But apart from about 7 or 8, the rest need to prove themselves and make sure they're Liverpool quality for next season. Otherwise, thanks for your services. We're going to try and upgrade on you. But look, people, I'm going to wrap up there. Could sit and have a rant all day, but I'm not going to do that. We are back late for the Monday Night Live show, so make sure you tune in for that. Probably going live around 9-ish, so make sure you join us for that, and then we'll go from there. People, I know I've probably ruffled some feathers today. I know there's going to be people out there who say stuff in the comments. Cool. It is what it is. All about opinions. As long as you keep it respectful, I won't say anything back. If you don't keep it respectful, I will clap back. And if I clap back, take it on the chin. Don't dish out if you can't take it. Shout out to Hakeem, says, league's not wrapped up yet. Watch us bottle it. We ain't bottling nothing, Hakeem. We ain't bottling nothing, bro. We are not bottling this league. So people, look. If you've liked this and liked what I've said, smash the like button. If you haven't liked what I've said, let me know in the comments what I said that you didn't like. I'm going to wrap up there, people. Until I see you later. Stay safe, stay blessed. We're Kopish. All right, people. Take care.